We are happy you could come along, and we are joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Columbia Firehouse and Vermilion in Old Town.
That's
right?
correct.
Aha.
Yeah.
Aha.
You got it.
Doesn't happen very often. Also, Evening Star Cafe and Planet Wine in the Delray neighborhood. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Ooh, what's on tap this week?
This week we have a new and rare bottling from our friends at Perennial Artisan Ales out in St. Louis, Missouri. This one's called Savant Blanc. It is a kind of companion piece to a beer that came out last year called Savant Beer Cell. And it is an incredible beer, aged in wine barrels. They have some wine grapes into it. We'll taste it and I'll tell you more about it.
Okay. Yes.
Tight, tart, and dry.
Mm-hmm. Very dry.
Very nice.
Not too tart.
Not too tart. Lots of tannins in the finish. You got a little oakiness in the nose. So this is one of the series of beers that they make with 100% Brettanomyces fermentation. So a little bit of a kind of funky, citric, earthy, rustic note in the nose is from the Brettanomyces. It's a golden ale. It gets up to about 8% alcohol. They age the beer for 5 months in Chardonnay oak barrels. You get a little bit of that toasty, oaky, kind of not buttery, but Chardonnay-like, full, silky, creamy quality. And they're adding a really cool grape into the barrel for the aging. It's called Chardonnay grapes. And I said it's a companion piece because last year they did a similar beer, 100% Brett fermentation, but darker. It was called Savant Beer Cell. That was aged in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels rather than Chardonnay. And in that barrel they added Chambourcin grapes. So between Chambourcin and Chardonnay, we've got two grapes that aren't really that popular, but they're hybrids that have become popular for winemakers trying to make wine in climates we don't typically associate with wine. So you think of like Missouri, Kansas, Ohio, Iowa, certain parts of Virginia. There's some cool grapes out there that can stand up to coldness better and give a really high yield better. And these grapes are seeing a lot more play in those areas. So that's where Chardonnay comes from. The Chardonnay is a hybrid of Savant Blanc and Chardonnay. And it has kind of a Chardonnay quality. It gives it a little bit of a peach, vanilla, citrus overtone as well.
What would you pair it with?
So thinking of pairings with this, automatically, well, I was kind of thinking of things that like Chardonnay can go with and kind of crisp, refreshing whites can go with. And I was thinking of cream sauces, right? So, you know, like a mushroom cream sauce, you can have that like with chicken or chicken, you know, a bechamel sauce, something like that, or even tomato cream sauces, vodka sauces. Think of like penne pasta with a cream sauce, that'd be fantastic. Also, it's great with like risotto of any kind, creamy. This will dig into the richness, add some acid against the salt. And the last thing is I love this with Caesar salad. You know, that tangy quality, yeah. Exactly. Lemon squeeze, hit the anchovy. Be really refreshing with that.
Would this be overkill if you did sort of, say, a chicken dish in a white wine sauce? Would that be too much with this?
I don't think so, because I think you know, sometimes you cook it in white wine sauce, you still finish it with something. So in some ways, this would be like, you know, the final kind of tangy addition to that dish that would liven it up, in much in the way that a squeeze of lemon would. And while it was livening it up, it would have some parallels to that white wine sauce, but it certainly doesn't taste just like white wine. It's still tart beer, so I think that would work fantastically.
I appreciate that they put on the label when the beer was bottled, and there's a little bit of sediment in the bottom. Is that normal in this type of beer? And it made me wonder, are there types of beer where if you see sediment, you should probably go, whoa?
Well,
because
yeah.
Some will tell you right on the label that it's unfiltered,
sediment, yeah.
You know. But
any beer that's unfiltered will likely have some sediment in the bottle, and you know, as the bottle's standing up, that's why we always store our bottles standing up when we age them rather than on the side. Or even if you just have it in your fridge standing up like this, so pour it slowly, you're not going to get as much sediment out of it, you leave it in the bottle. Right. Certainly beers that are re-fermented in bottle are going to have even more sediment because you're adding yeast and a little bit more sugar. But yeah, if you get, you know, a filtered lager in a bottle and it's got sediment, then there's an issue there, you know, and things like that. But yeah, sediment is not a problem at all.
Okay, there you have it. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.